Yo, what's up guys, DoomX here, and I'm back with another video. This time I'm going to be deck profiling my Buster Blader Numeron deck. So yeah, I just built this deck because I thought it was really good. So yeah, let's just get started. So I'm playing the 3 copies of the original Buster Blader. I'm not playing the other Buster Blader, the Destruction Swordman. I just think that it conflicts with the next card that I'm playing, which is 3 copies of Buster Whelp. This card can only special summon a Buster Blader in your hands, and the other Buster Blader isn't considered a Buster Blader in your hand. It's only considered that on the field or graveyard, so it conflicts with this, but this card is really good because when it's normal summon, you can search any Destruction Sword card from your deck to your hand. So it becomes like a 1-card Buster Lock, so yeah, that's pretty good. And next I'm playing is only 1 copy of the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. Now you guys all know what this card is. It's a domain lock for your opponent, so it's pretty good. I'm only playing 1 because I just feel like it's not really necessary to play multiples because you're already locking your opponent down with the Buster Lock plus Utopic Zexal, which you can make because of the Numeron package. And speaking of that, I'm playing 3 copies of Numeron Wall. This card is really good. It can serve as a hand trap because if your opponent attacks, you can just end the battle phase with this card. It's like a battle fader, and it can also search out the Numeron network by discarding it, and then you can do your Numeron play into your Utopic Zexal play or your OTK play. So that's pretty good. The next card I'm playing is the 3 copies of Planet Pathfinder. Now this card isn't like too necessary to play. I would honestly cut this card for either Impermanence or Cypherm Gear Gamma. So this deck is actually really good because you can play a bunch of hand traps because you have a lot of 1-card combos because the Numeron package is a 1-card combo, and like I mentioned before, this card is also a 1-card combo, so you can make a Buster Lock with just this 1 card, which is pretty good. Next I'm playing is hand traps, playing 2 copies of Fantastical Dragon Phantasme. So sometimes you will be bricking with this deck, not always though, but if you do brick, this card can definitely fix your hand with that, so that's pretty good. And it's also a negate too, so that's pretty good. The other hand traps that I'm playing are 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. This is probably the best hand trap in the game, so playing that. Next I'm playing is the 2 copies of Effect Veiler. It's like Impermanence, but not Impermanence, so but yeah, it's still pretty good. As for the spells, I'm playing 1 copy of the Destruction Swordman Fusion. I'm playing this because I feel like sometimes Borosaur Dragon or any other threats can be a problem, and you can just make them a dragon with the Buster Dragon in your extra deck. So it can come up by super polying your opponent's monsters to get rid of them, so I like that. And then I'm playing the Numeron Networks. This is really good because it's a 1-card Numeron, Utopic Zexal, so yeah, pretty good. And to go along with that, you have to play the Numeron Callings. So yeah, 2 of those is necessary because I'm playing 2 of each Numeron card in the extra deck, so yeah. And then 1 copy of Terraforming to search out the Numeron network to get you the 1-card combo. The next cards that I'm playing are the Prologue of the Destruction Swordman. This card brings out the Buster Dragon, which is pretty good, and it also sends off your Buster Blader plus a Destruction Sword card from your deck to the graveyard. So really good foolish burial, I guess. Next I'm playing only 2 copies of the Destruction Sword Memories. You can banish this card from the graveyard to fusion summon for the Buster Blader Fusion. The next card I'm playing are the 2 copies of the Destruction Sword Flash. This card is actually really good. If you control the Buster Blader Fusion, you can just banish everything or every monster that your opponent controls. So I think that's really good. And then I'm playing Trap Tricks, 3 copies of this, because you're playing a lot of traps. So you can just You can flip up trap check and then get your prologue. That's an easy buster block, I guess. And then you might as well play the 2 copies of Heavy Storm Duster to end off the main deck. So yeah, that's it for the main deck. Now I'll show you guys the extra deck. So for the extra deck, I'm playing 1 copy of the Utopic Zexal. You can make this with the Numeron package, of course. It's a really good card. You can just make your opponent not play for the turn. So yeah. Then you're playing 2 copies of each Numerons except for the 4s. So 2 Numeron 1s, 2 number 2s, 2 number 3s, and 1 number 4. You don't need to play 2 number 4s because you're only going to make 1 number 1, number 2, and number 3 during your first turn to make your Utopic Zexal. And then during your next turn you can make all 4 of them to pretty much OTK your opponent. So yeah, that's pretty good. And then another card that you can make instead of Utopic Zexal is the Mega Clops. I think this card is really good. Most decks can't really out this card, so yeah, it's really good in that sense. Next I'm playing is the 1 copy of Buster Dragon. You don't need to play multiple copies of Buster Dragon because Prologue can cycle through this card through the graveyard and through the extra deck, so yeah, you don't need to play more of this. But it's a really good card. It turns all your opponent's monsters into dragons, so you can just Buster Lock them with that. Because you're playing 3 copies of the Buster Blader, the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman. This card, if your opponent controls all dragon monsters, or like any dragon monster, it turns into defense mode and its effects are negated. So yeah, that's pretty much the Buster Lock. And this card does piercing damage, except that it can't attack your opponent directly, so that's the only bad side of it. And then the last 2 cards are 1 copy of Salamander Almirage. You can choose to play Link Rebo or Relinquished Anima or any other Link 1 monster that I don't know of. But I like Almirage because it serves as like a protection monster, so it's pretty good. And then the last card is the Protector Whoop of the Destruction Swordman. So when it's special summoned, you can send a Destruction Sword card from your deck to the graveyard. So I guess that's okay. And it can also special summon a Buster Blader monster from your hand, I believe. So yeah. And if your Buster Blader monster didn't attack during the turn, you can inflict damage equal to its attack points. So yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, that's it for the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe for more deck profiles like this. See you guys in the next video. Peace.